The 2018 Conference USA Softball Championship continues here at Sue M. Dottridge Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Do or die time for Louisiana Tech and UAB. Winner moves on to play again at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The loser will be done here in the tournament. We've got the fourth-seeded Lady Techsters leading things off with Kimmy Atienza, Morgan Turcoli, and Katie Smith. Here against the second-seeded Blazers, Emily Catchell delivers our first pitch. It's a strike. 0-1. Louisiana Tech getting to this point, 1-1 on the tournament. Third game here in Charlotte. Fell victim to FAU 7-4 yesterday. Here's a line drive into left center field. That gets down for a hit. Atienza around first and will stand up at second base with a leadoff double here in the opening inning. Louisiana Tech getting a chance to get back out on the diamond, losing yesterday's ballgame in heartbreaking fashion as you take a look at the Lady Techster lineup. Louisiana Tech gave up all 7 runs to FAU in the bottom of the 6th inning before falling 7-4. They had a 4-0 lead on a couple of 2-run homers as Turcoli stands in. First pitch is low and away, ball 1 to her. Turcoli, a .405 average on the year, 4 homers, 26 runs driven in. 1 for 6 in the 2 tournament games with a couple of runs scored. Here's a strike, 1-1. Catchell's making her 39th appearance, 28th start overall, 13-14 with a 2.91 ERA. 119 strikeouts in her 161 innings of work. Outside here, it's 2-1. Catchell threw 3 innings yesterday in the 11-6 defeats at the hands of Middle Tennessee. Upstairs, ball 3, 3-1. The 6th-seeded Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders continuing their Cinderella-type run. They are now in the championship game tomorrow after knocking off top-seeded FAU earlier this afternoon. Upstairs, ball 4 to Turcoli. First and second, the start for Louisiana Tech. Katie Smith to the plate. Middle Tennessee trailed 4-0 in that ballgame earlier this afternoon, but thanks in part to a grand slam by Kirsten Cucci, the Blue Raiders are 4-0 in this tournament with a chance to win the title tomorrow. First pitch here to Smith is downstairs for ball number 1. Smith, a .238 average in her senior season, a homer and 22 runs driven in. Still looking for her first hit here in Charlotte, 0 for 4 with a walk and run scored. Popped up out of play. Louisiana Tech, your defending 2017 Conference USA Tournament champions, coming out here to Charlotte. They finished the regular season at UTEP in El Paso, Texas, and flew nearly cross-country on Monday to get here. Upstairs with the rise ball, 2-1. And then to be that close, 6 outs away yesterday from getting into the winner's bracket final that was played earlier here, and now having to play for your tournament live. Here's a bunt towards third. Ashton Klim on to first in time. A successful sacrifice bunt for Katie Smith. Sloan Stewartson coming to the plate. Stewartson yesterday, one of the 2 Lady Techsters that hit a 2-run homer yesterday. Hers was an absolute bomb to left center field, the furthest home run of the 10 now that we have had hit in this year's tournament. She's up here with a chance to at least get the first run across that's 60 feet away. First pitch in for a strike. .357 average for the freshman. You don't see too many freshmen with that average and in the cleanup spot. But head coach Mark Montgomery certainly trusting her throughout the year. 5 homers, 28 RBI. Fouls the rise ball off out of play. That was Stewartson's first hit of the tournament yesterday. That was the first of the two that put Louisiana Tech up 2-0 early on. 0-2 from Catchell. There's a changeup in the dirt. Anthony Small is our plate umpire. Mike Hensley. Along the first base line, Mike Thibodeau. Down the third base line here. Conference USA umpiring crew has done a fantastic job throughout the first now 3 days of this championship tournament. There you see Stewartson fouling the pitch off again to stay alive. 88 degrees our game time temperature. It is baking here in Charlotte, North Carolina for the first time this season. Summertime temperatures are out. Some storms through the air yesterday, so it's nice and humid here as well. 1-2 pitch just missed outside, 2-2. The weather is so much playing a factor as one player in the earlier game went down due to overheating. These ladies are out there giving it all they have, trying to get to the championship game tomorrow, so much so that they overexert themselves. Now Stewartson's going to be hit by the pitch. She's down to first base. Bases are loaded now for Jaslyn Crowder with one out here in the opening inning. Crowder hitting .280, couple of homers, 24 runs driven in. 2 for 6 start with a double, 2 RBI, and a run scored here at this CUSA tournament. Here's a look at the UAB defense behind Catchell. Here's a strike. Caitlin Prater, Destiny England, Sarah Crawford, outfield left to right. Ashton Clem, Natalie Irwin, Annalise Petrie, Rachel Rogers, third to first. Molly Garcia with the gear on behind the plate. Catching for Catchell. There's a strike, quickly 0-2. Bit of a West Division rivalry between these two teams. The Blazers won the Western Division crown by a half game over Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech blowing a large lead at UTEP over the weekend. Crowder here able to stay alive. Lady Techsters were leading UTEP 5-1 in El Paso on Sunday before the Miners played it 5 runs with 2 outs to shock the Lady Techsters 6-5 and take away that Western Division title. Up and away here, a ball and 2 strikes. This is Louisiana Tech's 6th game here in Charlotte. They swept a 3-game series from the host 49ers here earlier in the year. Change up low and away. 2-2 now here on Crowder. Light breeze blowing out towards center on this hot and humid afternoon. 2-2, swung on and missed. That's a big strikeout for Emily Catchell. That's her first of the day. 2 are out now for Allie Galaz. Not only do you have to grind it out here in the 2:30 contest, but the winner gets to stick around and do it again here at 5 o'clock against FAU. First pitch to Galaz, check swing. Did she go? She did not on the appeal to first base umpire Mike Hensley. He is back between the first and second base bag off of the first baseline. Had he been along that first baseline, his call may have been different. Galaz takes a strike there, 1-1. Galaz hitting .236, 3 homers, 11 RBI on the year. 1 for 5 throughout the first couple of games for Louisiana Tech. Here's a changeup lifted out into right center field. Destiny England calls for it, makes the catch to retire the side. UAB gets out of an early jam here in the first. 1 hit, 3 runners left on base. Lady Techsters, nothing. Blazers coming to bat when we come back here in Charlotte. Back here at Daughtridge Stadium in Charlotte, no score as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. Emily Catchell in the circle, pitching herself in and out of that jam, stranding the bases loaded. A leadoff double by Kimmy Atienza, a walk and hit by pitch. But Catchell going strikeout, fly out to end the threat. England, who made that catch in center field, will lead things off. Natalie Irwin and Annalise Petrie to follow. Erin McDonald gets the start for the Lady Techsters, 3-0 with a 1.31 ERA as England pops the first pitch back up out of play. Just her fourth start, sixth appearance overall, 16 innings of work. That's it for the freshman this year. 5 runs, 3 earned, 13 hits. 16 strikeouts with an opponent's against average of 224. Here's a fly ball out into right center. It's Atienza who's there to make the catch. England is retired, 1 gone. So we'll have to keep our eye on McDonald in the circle, see if nerves come out for the first time. First Conference USA tournament trip for her as the freshman. Natalie Irwin standing in. Shortstop hitting .333 on the year. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. 8 homers, 27 RBI for Irwin. UAB losing the only game they've played in this tournament thus far yesterday. That's a strike. 1-1. Irwin 1 for 4. A single and run scored. Here's a fly ball deep into left. Crowder going back at the track, makes the catch just shy of the wall. Irwin gave it a ride, but it's a long fly out for out number 2. UAB, one of now 4 victims by the red-hot Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders squad. The Blue Raiders have taken down 7th-seeded North Texas, 3rd-seeded FIU, 2nd-seed UAB, and they just defeated top-seeded FAU 7-5. First pitch here to Petrie. Hits her right around that left elbow, right where she's got the protective brace on. She pulls it off. It's still in a bit of pain, walking it off down this first base line. Still grabbing that left elbow. Even with that protective guard on, you can still see how much it's bothering her there at first base as Rachel Rogers waits to step in. Time called after the hit by pitch. We'll go out and have a chat in the circle here with Erin McDonald to try and perhaps calm her down a bit. Now, these two teams met earlier this season, a 3-game series in Ruston, in which the Lady Techsters took 2 of 3 in the series. April 21st, a doubleheader, both teams split. Louisiana Tech winning the first one 7-2 before being shut out 4-0 in the second contest, and then came out on the 22nd with revenge in mind, getting a 7-1 victory here. So these teams familiar with each other, Western Division rivals. First pitch into Rogers for a strike. And we mentioned top of the broadcast, just a half game separating these two teams when all was said and done. Rogers hitting .251 on the year. 6 homers, 39 RBI. Quickly down in an 0-2 hole here to McDonald. So far, the freshman not showing many signs of nervousness out there. Rise ball up and away, 1-2. Louisiana Tech has Presley Galloway and Crystal De La Cruz. Jenny Chapman has also made an appearance here in Charlotte. There you see Rogers fouling one back to stay alive. But the initial thought is if you can get past UAB with McDonald in the circle, then you've got a rested bullpen, so to speak. to go out there and throw the pitcher of the year in Conference USA at FAU. Upstairs here, 2-2. But again, first you got to get through UAB. I'm sure if Aaron McDonald runs into any issues, they will turn to Galloway or De La Cruz. Change up, fouled back. You could see how far Rogers was out in front. We've seen that all throughout this Conference USA tournament. Pitchers on all 8 squads have a superb changeup. It's so hard to get that motion moving forward if you're in the box, see the changeup, and then still try to put a good swing on it. Inside, that one nearly hit Rogers. Count runs full here with 2 outs. Petrie there at first base will get a head start on this offering. It's popped up behind the plate. A brief chase for Marilyn Rosado, but it's into the seats and out of play. Rosado wanting another softball. Tossing that one towards that third base dugout. I say baseball, we've got batting practice going on in the background. Charlotte here at home tonight against Marshall, just across the street. Another 3-2 pitch. Liner into center. There's Crowder to make the catch, and Aaron McDonald works a nice 1-2-3 inning, getting around that hit by pitch. We've played 1 here in Charlotte, still no score. Back here in Charlotte, no scores. We head to the top of the second inning. Louisiana Tech will send the bottom third of the order to the plate, beginning with Marilyn Rosado. Lady Techsters had the bases loaded with 1 out just an inning ago, but couldn't push across that first run of the day. Now it's up to Rosado, Simone, and Jensen. Try and get things off to a better start as Catchell winds and fires outside for ball number 1. Rosado, 271 average, no homers, 8 RBI on the year. 1 for 4 here in the tournament. Outside, rise ball missing. Louisiana Tech had to take care of Western Kentucky before falling yesterday to the top-seeded Owls. Rise ball upstairs, 3-0. And now have to survive UAB for a chance to get a shot at the Owls one more time. I can guarantee you they'd love to do that after that 7-run 6th inning they gave up yesterday. 3-0 in for a strike. Rosado's been working hard behind the plate as well defensively. Talked about it earlier. With all the catcher's gear, everything going on with the heat and humidity. Here's a chopper over to short. Irwin to first. Nice stretch by Rachel Rogers. 1 gone. Bailey Simone, the third baseman, will come to the plate. Simone, a .228 average, 3 homers, 19 RBI. 1 for 6, her one a double. Couple of RBI and a run scored in this tournament. First pitch away for ball number 1. Louisiana Tech coming in, hitting .274 on the year. There's a high strike, 1-1. Their .274 average over the course of 56 games. .260 average here so far through their 2 games. Here's a fly ball into center. England is there with the sunglasses on. 2 gone. Carly Jensen to the plate. Senior second baseman hitting .253. No homers, 13 RBI.
So Jensen was part of that team last year that, was in the same situation. They lost, had to fight their way through the losers bracket, and then come back to, win the title. So she knows what it feels like, and so she's going to be putting a lot of grit in.
Especially seniors wanting to go out with a bang here, try to end their college careers with back-to-back titles. Rise ball upstairs, 1-1. Top of the lineup, Kimi Atienza in the on-deck circle if Jensen can extend the inning. Atienza has the only hit of this ball game so far. That one's outside. Jensen with her 100th at-bat of the season. That one just missed outside. 3-1. Knowing Atienza is in the on-deck circle, I would imagine catcher would give Jensen a decent pitch here to try and hit. It's a strike. Jensen will take it to run the count full, 3-2. Two outs, scoreless here in the second. Fouled straight back. Jensen staying alive. Can't hold anything back if you're UAB or Louisiana Tech. That was part of head coach's Mark Montgomery's pregame speech to his team down this first base line. Got to leave it all out there. Cannot worry about a second game later today unless you get through this first one. You start thinking about the second one, and you'll never make it there. Payoff pitch called, strike 3. Catchell battles back to get her second strikeout to complete a 1-2-3 second frame. No score as we head to the home half. You're watching the CUSA Softball Championship on BN Sports. Back here at Dottridge Stadium in Charlotte, Sean Fox and Katie Smith with you. No score as we go to the home half of inning number 2. Sarah Crawford, Claire Blount, Caitlin Prater, the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the lineup. Coming up here for UAB, the freshman Aaron McDonald got around a 2-out hit by pitch there in the first inning to do a fantastic job in that opening inning. Here's a little check swing towards first. Galah's foot race to the bag beats Crawford. Crawford didn't mean to, but then we had the near collision there. We're going to have a stoppage of play here. The baseball music across the street from Hayes Stadium, head coach Martin Montgomery has come out and asked for them to turn it down as it blares across the street here with batting practice going on. The umpires have gotten together. They are going to relay a message over there to baseball. Have them turn down or turn off their music. So the game staff here in Charlotte will eventually relay the message and take care of it. Claire Blount will come to the plate.
We actually saw Blount yesterday start in the circle. She was only in for an inning, and then Ketchel came in. I was talking to their SID yesterday, and he said that those two have gone back and forth as, you know, in the circle 1-2. So I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see her throw a few today.
Here's a swing and a miss. Ball and a strike here on Blount. 228 average. Couple of homers, 14 RBI on the year. Off speed downstairs. UAB still looking for their first hit. Here's a pop-up behind the plate. Rosado just in front of the plate makes the catch for out number 2 here in this second inning. Caitlin Prater, the left fielder, stands in. McDonald, here's first pitch, changeup in the dirt. Prater, the senior, 18 hits and 94 at-bats, 191 average, no homers, and an RBI. Corner infielders in here for La Tech. There's a strike, 1-1. With the lefty up. More times than not, you'll see the third baseman, in this case, Bailey Simone, creeping up from third, protecting a bunt or a slap attempt. There you see Prater in motion from the back of that box up to the front. McDonald trying to put together a 1-2-3 frame. This one popped up back out of play.
McDonald was, you know, she was pretty on target last inning, and you gotta think, you know, she's probably pretty nervous. It's her first conference tournament. She's a freshman. She's only had 6 appearances, so she was pretty on target. So she's just gonna run with this.
2-2, a little slap towards center, diving catch by Jaslyn Crowder. What a catch by the Lady Techsters center fielder to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We're off to the third. Still scoreless here in Charlotte. Top of the third here in Charlotte. Top of the lineup for Louisiana Tech coming to the plate in this scoreless duel early on. Kimmy Atienza, Morgan Turcoli, and Katie Smith to the plate. Atienza has the only hit of the game so far on either side. That was her leadoff double to left center back in the first inning. .303 average, 4 homers, and 12 RBI. Goes after the first pitch and now adds a single to her resume. She's quickly 2 for 2 with both hits. Turcoli to the plate. Not wasting any time. Got a good pitch she wanted from Catchell. Stayed right through it and went right through the middle with her second hit of the day. Here comes Morgan Turcoli. Showing bunt, pulls back, called a strike. 0-1 here on Turcoli. Conference USA's Player of the Year lets this one sail upstairs. Count even now at a ball and a strike. As you would imagine in tournament play, especially 7 innings of softball, if you can get that momentum early with the first run, that can carry you the rest of the afternoon. There's a high strike call to Turcoli. She didn't necessarily like the call. She backs out. .405 average on the year.
Garcia's doing a great job behind the plate for UAB. As a former catcher, you got to give props to those guys because it's
Here's
hot
a shot fair inside the third base bag. Atienza on her way to third. The throw not in time. Turcoli right behind her into second base. It's a second and third, nobody out start for the Lady Techsters here in the third. Second extra base hit for the Lady Techsters. Third hit of the game. And now Katie Smith here with an excellent opportunity to put the Lady Techsters on the board. First pitch, rise ball misses upstairs for ball number 1.
If anyone can do it, I think Katie Smith can do it. She has a fantastic name.
Talking about that Katie Smith or you Katie Smith?
That Katie Smith.
Okay, just making sure. 1-0 pitch, that's on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Had a sacrifice bunt back in the opening inning. That helped set up the bases loaded 1-out situation. Louisiana Tech couldn't push anything across. Here's a pop-up behind the plate, makes its way out of play. A ball and 2 strikes. Sloan Stewartson in the on-deck circle. Catchell in a bit of a jam here to open up the visitor half of the third. Another rise ball. That one misses. 2-2. UAB looks to concede the first run for an out up the middle. Another one popped up, this one over top of her own dugout and out of play. 2-2 on the senior from Bossier City, Louisiana. Nice hot and humid day should make both of these teams from Louisiana and Alabama. Now bunt. Gets the run across, no play made anywhere.
That's
Katie Smith,
bunt.
a 2-strike bunt. It gets the job done. Lady Techsters lead 1-0. A pitch up in the zone, too. Caught the Blazers off guard. Nothing Rogers at first could do. Now first and third. Still nobody out for Sloan Stewartson. How about that call by head coach Mike Montgomery? Now Stewartson shows bunt and takes a strike. Smith stealing second base, so now back to second and third, nobody out. 28th stolen base of the year for Smith. Fly ball here towards left center. Destiny England calling for it. Tagging from third is Turcoli. She'll make it without a throw. RBI for Stewartson, 2-0 Louisiana Tech. Smith staying put there at second base with a freshman in the circle, and Aaron McDonald, I know she's happy to have a couple of runs here. Here's Jaslyn Crowder. She pushes a bunt back towards the circle. Catchell to first. Second baseman Annalise Petrie covering the bag. Time called. Crowder staying on first base right now. Head coach Mark Montgomery wanting first base umpire Mike Hensley to check with plate umpire Anthony Small to see if Petrie kept her foot on the bag, racing over to first base. We'll get a look at it here on the replay. You'll see the bunt. Let her high. Watch the bag. There's the throw. Yeah, I think that left foot, when it came down, it pushed right up against the side of the bag. Mark Montgomery still voicing his displeasure. But I do believe they got the call right. Bang, bang play, tough play for Petrie. She's coming over and has to catch it. All at the same time, Catchell's basically getting rid of it. Hitting a moving target is always tough. You can see Coach Montgomery still trying to plead his case. Now it's with first base umpire Mike Hensley. That's what Coach Montgomery's saying. The back foot sliding, it pulled the other foot off. Coach Montgomery will head back to his third base coach's box. Upset about the call, but again on replay, it did look like that Petrie got her foot on the bag. We'll get a different look at it here. Toss from Catchell. Up the pole from the backstop right there in the way. Good shot, just a tough break here with the facility. First pitch to Ali Galaz, missing for ball number one. Down to third goes Smith on the sacrifice. RBI opportunity for Galaz late there. Counts even now at a ball and a strike. Louisiana Tech trying to add on to their 2 runs here in this third. Popped up off to the right side. A ball and 2 strikes. After getting out of the bases loaded 1-out jam in the first inning, Emily Catchell came back to work a 1-2-3 second, but now has given up a couple of runs here on 3 hits. Swings and misses. She'll end the inning with a strikeout, her third of the day, to retire the side. But Louisiana Tech strikes first. 2 runs on the 3 hits. 2.5 complete. Lady Techsters up 2-0. Bottom of the third, about to get underway here in Charlotte. Day 3 of the 2018 Conference USA Softball Championships. Winner here survives to play at least one more later tonight against FAU.
Good to see McDonald back in the circle. I think she's been doing pretty well, and she's not really showing that she's feeling the pressure.
Starting off, Clem there with a first pitch strike. Clem just 8 for 62 at the plate this year. Doesn't have a home run, 3 RBI. Just missing there with the 0-1 pitch. Count here at 1-1. Molly Garcia to follow. Top of the lineup, Destiny England. 8-9-1 part of the lineup for the Blazers. Here's one fouled back to the screen. Hot and humid here this afternoon. Erin McDonald, the freshman, not showing any signs of those nerves as we've referenced, and you would think if she was going to, it'd be over the first couple of innings. But she has sat down 6 of the 7. Her only mistake to this point, hitting Annalise Petrie with 2 outs there in the opening inning. See how she reacts if she gets to face any adversity. Here's a pop-up behind the plate. Will it stay in play? It will not. Just out of play, off to the right. Hasn't been much of a breeze here compared to yesterday when it was gusting out towards center field. Today, it's like a nice sauna lit up here in Charlotte, and there's not much of a breeze right now as we speak. 2-2 in on the hands, a little soft pop up to third. Simone takes care of it, 1 gone. Molly Garcia, the catcher, to the plate. I was just thinking with the hot temperatures, everyone has to stay hydrated, but then Garcia comes up having to wear all that gear too. Actually carried something with her, just tossed it away back to her dugout. Garcia's average at 179 through 55 games. Pops the first pitch up behind the plate. Rosado, again running out of room, right into the front row of seats behind the plate. No balls and a strike. Garcia 0 for 4 yesterday. Pops this one up, foul territory, first base side. Will this one stay in play? It will not. Just over top of our perch down this first base line. McDonald getting ahead, 0-2. Oh, 2 from McDonald, again popped up out of play. Garcia battling here. A couple of more softballs get tossed into play. Freshman from Norman, Oklahoma. Named the Conference USA Commissioner's Honor Roll in biology. 0-2 upstairs, 1-2. McDonald used to compete in horse jumping competitions, now inside the circle. Check swing, pop up behind the plate. Rosado again running out of room. How about this in the notes? Erin McDonald has a 10-year-old bearded dragon lizard named Lucky back home. I was going to say, I'd go out on a limb and say that's the only bearded dragon in Ruston, Louisiana, but I'm pretty confident saying that might be the only one in Norman, Oklahoma as well. Here's a floater into center. That gets down into center field for a base hit.
That's great for Garcia. She had a little rough day yesterday, so it's good for her to come out swinging and get UAB's first hit of the game.
Top of the lineup, Destiny England to the plate. England 0 for 1. Fly ball to Atienza in right back in the first. Back. Here's a line shot first into left. Destiny England has a hit. Back-to-back one-out singles. And the Blazers are starting to get a little confidence going here in their own half of the third.
And we see some La Tech heading to their bullpen, so they're not going to take any chances here.
Ginny Chapman about to start getting loose. As we look at the base hit there from England, up, out over the plate, and just a good solid swing right into left field. Well, back in this three-game series in Ruston, it was a 3-2 game in the opener before Louisiana Tech pulled away with 4 runs in the 6th inning. Claire Blount threw a 4-hit shutout in the Game 2 win, that Saturday doubleheader. And then after falling behind 1-0, Louisiana Tech posted 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 3 more in the 5th to win the series against the Blazers. But then, as we referenced at the top of the broadcast, it came down to a half game. Louisiana Tech falling in that heartbreaking finale at UTEP, which cost them a West Division title. Natalie Irwin takes a strike. She's 0 for 1. Fly out to Crowder in center back in the first. Rise ball there popped back up out of play. Irwin hitting .336 in her sophomore season. England, a sophomore at the top of this lineup as well. A solid, really top 3 here for first-year head coach Amanda Ellis. Petrie in the on-deck circle, a junior, all of them hitting well over 300. Rise ball way upstairs. What a grab by Rosado behind the plate. This is the first bit of adversity here we've seen Erin McDonald face. And she responds with a big strikeout. That's a great time for her first strikeout of the day. 2 gone. Petrie was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. That was all against McDonald until these couple of hits. First pitch fouled back and out of play. Petrie hitting .316, 9 homers, 18 runs driven in. Those 9 bombs leading the team. 13 doubles, 1 behind Rachel Rogers for the lead in that extra base hit category. Up and away, 1-1. Coming up in this 4th inning, we will get a chance to chat with each head coach. We'll start with UAB's first-year head coach Amanda Ellis after this half inning, and then Mark Montgomery when we hit to the bottom of the 4th. Here's a pop-up behind the circle. Galaz makes the catch, and McDonald gets herself out of the jam. 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. We will talk with head coach Amanda Ellis when we come back. Her Blazers trail Louisiana Tech 2-0. Back here in Charlotte, before we get to the top of the fourth, let's go down and have a quick word with head coach Amanda Ellis of UAB. Coach, offense down a couple of runs. First, on the offensive side, what do you want to see some adjustments made to try and get on the scoreboard?
I mean, I think that's the key word there, is that we have to make the adjustment and get the ball out of the air and swing at better pitches. I mean, I think she's given us something good to hit. We just got to get the ball out of the air and quit trying to be, big, and just kind of simplify it a little bit and choose better pitches to swing at.
In the circle, what do you like from Emily so far, and what do you want to see her maybe make an adjustment on?
Honestly, she's doing exactly what we asked. She's given them a good mix. We have to take the short game away from them. I think that's what's beating us right now.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck the rest of the day here.
Thank you.
That's head coach Amanda Ellis. Heard her right there. I like it when you ask a question and she jumps on the keyword of adjustments. Bust out some coach speak right there. Thanks to Coach Ellis. Thanks to all of our coaches. Those have been really good, insightful interviews in the fourth inning all tournament long here. First pitch from Catchell. Rosado lifts to deep right center. Nice play by Sarah Crawford, going back right on the track to make the catch. Defensive plays like that will certainly help your pitcher out. If I tracked one down, I'd make a little dance. Well, may not do it out here in front of everybody, maybe in the hotel room later where nobody could see. Everyone having fun despite maybe the deficit for UAB. Still good to see. Still plenty of time left. Bailey Simone takes a strike, 0-1. Simone flew out to England in center back in the second. Oh, 1 on the way. This one's lifted out and towards the left. Prater is there. 2 gone. Something everyone's continuing to deal with. You see Prater with the sunglasses on and left. Visors and sunglasses all around for the most part. Shortstop Natalie Irwin, the only one that doesn't have anything on. High sky, bright sunshine, back behind home plate. Carly Jensen standing in. First pitch strike. Catchell rolling here, just her 4th pitch of the inning. Trying to turn things back over to her offense. Low and away, 1-1. We'll talk with head coach Mark Montgomery coming up after this half inning. Ask him about really what he likes from Erin McDonald. A nice freshman performance in the circle so far for Louisiana Tech. Low and in, 2-1.
We do see some action in the UAB bullpen, so looks like they got 2 arms getting ready to throw.
Yeah, somebody else just went down there. Here's a ground ball, a little tapper back to the mound. Nice job. Catchell works a very quick 1-2-3. Top half of the 4th. Nothing doing for Louisiana Tech. We'll talk with their head coach, Mark Montgomery, when we come back. Back here at Dottridge Stadium, 2-0 our score as we head to the home half of the first. Before we get underway, let's have a quick word with Louisiana Tech head coach Mark Montgomery. Coach, first, what do you like about Erin McDonald? She's been pretty solid for the first 3 innings in the circle.
You know, Erin spins it so well. She struggled a little early this year as a freshman, but she's really starting to settle in. And this was a big moment for her, big stage, and thus far she's performed wonderfully. So we're very proud of her.
To help her out, how important was it to get those first couple of runs back there in the 3rd inning?
Well, I mean, it always helps, but this is a long game, and you got a chance to score in every inning. So we need to keep doing what we're doing.
Appreciate the time, Coach. Good luck rest of the way.
No problem. Thank you.
Head coach Mark Montgomery of Louisiana Tech. He's exactly right. Still a long way to go, especially with the games we've seen throughout this Conference USA Championship. We saw, Louisiana Tech saw firsthand FAU scored 7 in the bottom of the 6th inning yesterday. So I know the Lady Techsters won't be comfortable until that final out is recorded. First pitch here to Rachel Rogers leading it off is fouled back out of play, 0-1. Rogers 0 for 1. She lined out to Crowder in center, ending the first. It'll be Rogers, Crawford, and Blount, 4, 5, 6. Part of the Blazer lineup. This one's low and away, 1-1.
I'm just waiting for the UAB rally cape. Saw it yesterday. One of the seniors on the bench, Michaela Hayes. She had a toy
the rally cape
and
may
a cape.
come out now. Solo home run for Rachel Rogers. The Blazers are on the board here in the 4th.
She has the dragon again.
For Rogers, that's her 7th home run of the year, 40th run batted in. And just like that, the Lady Techster lead cut in half. You see a pitch up in the zone and off the batting cage in left field. You heard Coach Montgomery talk about McDonald spinning it the best out of anyone in that circle. But a mistake pitch up there to Rogers, and Rogers cashed in on it. Sarah Crawford will stand in. Crawford 0 for 1. She grounded out to Galaz at first. Goes after the first pitch here and fouls it off. Crawford, a .268 average. A couple of homers in her freshman campaign. We'll see if that home run can relax some of the Blazers in that third base dugout. Pitch here is outside, 1-1. Number 2 seed came out and fell to a red-hot Middle Tennessee squad and fell behind 2-0 here early on, but got one back. Here's a shot to the gap in left center. That's off the top of the wall. Crawford on her way to second. She'll slide in with a double. She just nearly tied this thing up. What a swing right off the top of the R there in Dottridge Stadium. And just like that, UAB has the tying run 120 feet away here for Claire Blount. Time called. Looks like we will have a runner come out for Crawford. And while that happens, it looks like Erin McDonald will head to the dugout. She got 3 innings in for the Lady Techsters. Lady Techsters going to bring in Crystal De La Cruz. This is her 3rd appearance. She's appeared in all 3 games now for Louisiana Tech. An inning and 2/3. A run, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. On the year, this is the 29th appearance for De La Cruz. 4-9 with a 3.84 ERA. Opponents are hitting .258 against her in those 74 and 2/3 innings of work. 52 runs, 41 earned, 74 hits, right at 1 hit per inning, 35 walks, 28 strikeouts. Rare to see more walks than strikeouts, but that's been the one struggle for De La Cruz this season. Michaela Hayes coming off the bench here to run for Crawford. Hayes represents the tying run, so a little more speed on the base paths here for head coach Amanda Ellis.
Yesterday, Hayes came in and she didn't know, and the coach said, "You gotta go, you gotta go." She had to rip her cape off and rush out there.
Head coach Martin Montgomery getting the changes from plate umpire Anthony Small. Note the changes on his scorecard. Getting the 3 innings of work out of Aaron McDonald at least gives De La Cruz a 3-inning rest, so to speak. Louisiana Tech still with Presley Galloway available. They're going to try and save her for later. First pitch to Blount, misses downstairs for ball number 1. If things get tighter, and in a 1-run game, you can't get much tighter than being tied up. Here's a rise ball in for a strike.
You got to respect the outing from McDonald, though. She basically just had 2 bad pitches that she kind of let hang a little closer over the plate than she probably wanted, and that was it.
With nobody out, let's see if Blount, after getting signs from Coach Ellis in that third base coach's box, may try and drop down a bunt right here. Nope, swinging away. She comes up empty, 1-2. Caitlin Prater in the on-deck circle. UAB with 2 hits for the second straight inning. Popped up out of play off to the left. 4 hits apiece as we play here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 our score. Solo home run by Rachel Rogers led off this inning. Sarah Crawford doubled off the top of the wall in left center, nearly went back to back. Here's a floater down the left field line. That's a fair ball. This game is tied up. Blount on her way to second with an RBI double. 2-2 here in the 4th. Out over the plate. Great at bat by Blount. Didn't try to do anything fancy. Hit it where it was thrown, and you can see she's fired up on second base, tying this ball game up at 2. Rosado out to have a quick word here with De La Cruz. And now it looks like we may have a pinch hitter for UAB. UAB now with 5 hits, 5 of the 9. Looks like Haley Sisson has a bat in her hand to come up and hit. So Sisson will bat for Prater. Still jotting things down that third base line. Senior from Hoover, Alabama. 1 for 8 at the plate this season. That one got her a couple of RBI at UTSA in a pinch hit roll back on April 29th.
Can Lightning strike twice?
If it does, UAB find themselves with a 3-run inning. Still nobody out. Healthy cut at the first offering here from De La Cruz. Being aggressive, going after the pitch. Trying to come up with that base hit. 0-1 there, able to lay off of that one to even up the count at a ball and a strike. Activity in the Louisiana Tech bullpen. 1-1, a little grounder over to third. Simone fakes a throw. Now they've got Blount caught up between second and third in another rundown. The ball hits her. Everybody's safe. The Blazers catch a break right there. The flip. We'll check it out here on the replay. See a great job there by Simone to get Blount hung up. But then the little shovel pass right there, hitting her right in the back, which allows her to stand on top of that third base bag and exhale. Prater re-entering, now going to run there at first base after Sisson got aboard. Fielder's choice officially for Sisson. First and third, Ashton Clem to the plate. Downstairs for ball number 1. Clem with her 4th RBI of the season, just 60 feet away down there at third base.
For Coach Montgomery, how long do you wait until you bring in your pitcher of the year in Presley Galloway?
She is getting loose down this right field line. That one's downstairs, 2-0. Clem 0 for 1. She popped up to Simone at third, leading off the third. De La Cruz needs some sort of out just like that to keep runners where they are. Here's a strike on the 2-0 delivery. UAB trying to rally themselves back after falling behind in an early 2-0 hole. Now showing bunt down the first baseline, picked up in foul territory by Galaz. Raina Cooper representing the go-ahead run at third base. Gonna try it again. This time it gets her in the box. So she will stay alive and come back. A 2-ball and 2-strike count. Coach Montgomery going out to point on the bunt attempt with 2 strikes. Still an out. It counts as a strikeout on the bunt. So the Lady Techsters get the first out on the board. Molly Garcia stepping in. Chance for her to put the Blazers on top here in the 4th. First pitch from De La Cruz downstairs. Well, the Blazers will be happy with tying it up here in the 4th. But if the Lady Techsters can get out of this jam in strand 2, I would think they'd take some sort of momentum back into the first base dugout with them. Runner goes, throw down to second in time. That's a big second out. There's some of that momentum shifting as we speak, as Rosado makes a perfect throw down to second base. You see the bunt shown by Garcia from her knees, right on the money. What a throw by Rosado. Time called. 2 balls and a strike. They wanted to verify the count. Second baseman Carly Jensen calling time to confirm the count. All right, that's what the pause was for. Carly Jensen noticed it. That's a heads-up play by your second baseman. The senior thought that Garcia tried to push her bunt attempt, and we had to wait for the appeal for it to become official. Now that one's fouled back. So the count here at 1-2 strikes. That was the brief confusion, waiting for plate umpire Anthony Small to make the appeal. Mike Hensley down here at first, set she went. And now Louisiana Tech 1 strike away from getting out of the jam. Just missed outside. 2-2. The inning started with a solo home run by Rogers, and then back-to-back doubles by Crawford and Blount. Then a strikeout on a bunt attempt and a caught stealing at second base. Blazers ran themselves into the second out. Here's one fouled off.
Garcia had a really nice hit in her last at-bat, so she's just looking to make contact and get into a gap to bring home the go-ahead run.
Anything to the outfield will get the job done here for Garcia. But De La Cruz trying to get out of the jam. Low and away, 3-2. I wonder on the caught stealing of Prater there if perhaps a sign was missed. 1st and 3rd and 1 out situation. Certainly don't want to run yourself into that out. Upstairs, ball 4. And that right there further illustrates that point. Now you'd have the bases loaded with 1 out as opposed to 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Top of the lineup, Destiny England to the plate. She's 1 for 2 here this afternoon. She had a base hit to left back in the 3rd. Well, let's see if England can cash in. Takes a strike. Had a base hit to left back in the 3rd. Fly out to right in the 1st, so she can go both ways to the outfield, left and right. Louisiana Tech shifting the infield around here a bit with England at the plate. There's a line shot into center field. Blazers lead it 3-2. RBI single for England. Her 2nd straight hits. Inner part of the plate, and she was able to slap it right into center field. Cooper will score from 3rd. Garcia to 2nd. And now head coach Mark Montgomery down by 1. I believe going to make a pitching change here, and I think this kind of forces his hand into bringing Presley Galloway in. And here she comes out of that first base dugout. De La Cruz, 2/3 of an inning, 1 run, 2 hits. The first 2 runs charged to McDonald. But now you can't afford to wait around for a possible game 2 tonight, because now you find yourself on the wrong side of a 3-2 score. UAB has sent 7 hitters to the plate. They've got 4 hits in this inning. They started the inning with just 2 hits on the board. Now they've posted 3 runs on 4 hits. Gives them 6 on the day, and here comes Galloway. She started both of the previous 2 games for Louisiana Tech. 11 innings of work here in the Conference USA Championship. 5 runs, 12 hits. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 3.18 ERA here in Charlotte. 18-8 overall this season. 2.46 ERA. Completing her warm-up tosses in the circle. So let's see if Galloway can get the Lady Techsters out of the jam. First pitch lined into left center field. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Garcia scores. England stopping at third. No better luck for Galloway on her first pitch. RBI double for Irwin, 4-2 UAB.
I would just like to point out that the cape is back.
Yeah, that rally cape out in full force. Crowder tried to cut it off on a direct route there in center field, but then quickly had to retreat once the ball got by her. Annalise Petrie now takes a strike. The Blazers have batted around here in the fourth. Well, you heard Coach Montgomery say it in our interview at the start of this half inning. Still a lot of game left. Now he's down 2 instead of being up 2 when we started this fourth inning. Strike here to Petrie, 0 for 1, hit by a pitch back in the first. That one just missed. Rosado wanted the call behind the plate.
So if you're Amanda Ellis, do you keep Ketchulin or do you go to a fresh arm?
Outside, 2-2. 4 runs on 5 hits here for UAB. And this is all after Louisiana Tech gave up 7 in the 6th inning last night to FAU. This one's fouled off. Petrie staying alive here at 2-2, so that's the last 2 scoring innings. Time called here. Head coach Amanda Ellis wants to have a chat. You start to wonder, too, if ending the regular season in El Paso against UTEP, flying across country on Monday, you've got the practice day Tuesday, and then you had to come out here and get your tournament going on Wednesday night. Louisiana Tech been on the road for a solid week now and across country at that. I wonder if all that's starting to catch up to them. Here's a changeup, foul down the third baseline. Plate umpire Anthony Small all over that third baseline making the call. I just saw head coach Amanda Ellis put up a couple of fingers saying it was that close. That would have been 2 more for UAB, that close to busting it open in this fourth inning. Now it's a hit by pitch. Petrie going straight down there in the box. Coach Ellis and the training staff for UAB coming out to check on her. Up and in. Galloway throws just as hard as anyone in Conference USA, and you could hear it from over here. Take a look. We get a replay of it. Oh, yeah, it looked like
Right on her wrist.
right on that right arm. Hard to tell there, either the wrist or maybe that back elbow part. And Petrie's going to head right to the dugout. In addition to the training staffs for both teams playing, we've got the athletic training staff here for Charlotte, the host school of this Conference USA Championship here, just in case they had to help out earlier in game 1 when a scary moment popped up. Precious Birdsong overheating at third base right after a head-first slide into the bag. So Petrie heading to the bench to be checked out. Megan Smith will come off the bench and a run at first base now. They're loaded. Rachel Rogers, who led off the inning with a home run, is up with the bases loaded. First pitch is in for a strike. Rogers connecting for her 7th home run of the year about 10 minutes ago. There's one low and away. Snap throw to second. Now they've got a runner in the pickle. Irwin. Now we're going to have England in a rundown between third and the plate. There's the tag. A big play by Louisiana Tech on defense to get them out of the inning. UAB scores 4 runs on 5 hits. They go from down 2 to up 2, heading to the 5th inning here in Charlotte. Top of the 5th inning here at Doddridge Stadium in Charlotte. We go to the 5th. Atienza, Turcoli, and Smith. Top of the lineup for the Lady Techsters. Down by 2. UAB putting up 4 runs on 5 hits to grab this 4-2 lead. Atienza 2 for 2, double to left center, single to center back in the 3rd. Also scored one of those 2 runs. Defensive change, Megan Smith stays in the ballgame at 3rd. Ashton Clem, who was at 3rd, now over at 2nd.
Smith's, a true utility player. A couple years ago, she was one of their aces on the circle, and she spent the majority of this season at 3rd base. We did see her a little bit yesterday, so she can do it all.
Coach Montgomery writing down those changes in the 3rd base coach's box. We'll see if that's the only other change. Looks like we have a new right fielder as well. Looks like Raina Cooper stays in the ball game. She does out here in right. England looks the same in center. Still looks like Caitlin Prater out there in left. We'll confirm all of these changes on our stat monitor as we are set to go here with Atienza. Atienza hitting .303, 4 homers, 12 RBI on the year. First pitch on the way from Catchell is up, maybe away as well for ball number 1. Atienza in from the right side. Pops this one up 3rd base side. Smith into the game, up near the fence, makes the grab. The ball will always find you when you come into the ball game for the first time defensively. Smith makes a nice catch for out number 1. Here comes CUSA's Player of the Year in Morgan Turcoli. Doubled and scored back in the 3rd. That got the Lady Techsters on the board. First pitch here, low and away for ball number 1. Walked back in the first. Turcoli 1 for 6 in the tournament coming into today. That double, her first extra base hit here in Charlotte. A little check swing pop-up down the left field line, foul.
See FAU down there in the bullpen, kind of waiting around to see who they're going to play.
Yeah, the Owls falling like others have done to a red-hot Middle Tennessee squad, 7-5. Thrilling game earlier this afternoon to kick off day 3 here in Charlotte. 1-1 is upstairs, 2-1. Turcoli's average up a couple of points to 409 after that double. Catchell's 2-1. Rise ball again. Shows you how disciplined of a hitter Turcoli is right there. 409 average, not chasing after the high stuff. And now has a count in her favor here, 3-1. Upstairs, she'll take the walk. Second of the game for the left fielder. Tying run comes to the plate now in shortstop Katie Smith. '41st walk of the year by Turcoli. By far the most of anyone on this Louisiana Tech roster. We mentioned the discipline side from her, but that's also shows you the amount of respect the opposition has when facing her. Strike to Smith. Sacrifice bunt back in the first. 2-strike RBI bunt single back in the third. Change up. Did she hold up in time? Yes, she did. Count here evens up at a ball and a strike. Sloan Stewartson in the on-deck circle. First time Louisiana Tech has trailed today after the 4 put up by the Blazers. That one's right in above the knees for a strike, 1-2. Just 4 hits so far for Louisiana Tech. 3 of those came back in the third inning. 1-2. Outside, snap throw to first. Turcoli able to get that right hand back in. Starting to wander off the bag a little too far for Garcia's liking behind the plate. Two. Change up, just missed upstairs. Catchell may have had Smith right there if it was down below the letters there of the uniform, but instead a full count, 3-2. Payoff pitch, a little floater into left. Prater charging in, dives, makes the grab. An incredible catch by Prater. A little 360 barrel roll and held on to it. Turcoli was nearly standing on the second base bag when she makes this catch. Charging in all the way. Got her right throwing hand in there to keep the ball in her glove using 2 hands. Even more of a spectacular catch right there for out number 2.
Really seeing some web gems today. That was great.
Stewartson in, takes a first pitch strike. No official at bat for Stewartson yet. Despite being her 3rd trip to the plate, she was hit by a pitch back in the first and delivered a sacrifice fly to center in the 3rd. Here's a floater into left. This one will drop in front of Prater. Turcoli stops at second. Another hit here for Stewartson. Now the go-ahead run, and Jaslyn Crowder coming to the plate. Time called by Mark Montgomery. May have a runner over here at first base for Stewartson. And we will. Emily Daniel coming off the bench here, representing that tying run. Coach Montgomery wanting some better speed on the base paths just in case Crowder happens to find a gap or gets one down the left or right field line 200 feet away. Two outs here in the top of the fifth. Louisiana Tech trying to answer the Blazers' 4-run bottom half of the fourth. Now let's see what Crowder can do. A junior will return for one more season. Solid roster coming back for the Lady Techsters in 2019. First pitch here upstairs for ball number 1. Stewartson, who just walked, a freshman. McDonald, who got the start in the circle, a freshman as well. A very good young core on its way back to Ruston.
And you've got Simone over at third base, also a freshman.
2 balls and no strikes here on Crowder. Struck out in the first, sacrifice bunt to set up those 2 runs in the third. Ball 3, 3-0. Catchell laboring a bit here in this 5th inning. Three-0 pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 3-1, a chance for Louisiana Tech to at least get one of those runs back. Crowder has to continue the inning with a hitter's count here, 3-1. How about a base hit into center field? Turcoli rounds third. The throw from England up the line, not in time. Daniel and Crowder will take an extra 60 feet. It is a 4-3 game. Second and third now for Ali Galaz. Right back up the middle. England coming up with it on the quick crow hop. But the short hop of Garcia behind the plate allows Daniel to head to third and Crowder to get down there into second. Upstairs on the rise ball. Six hits now for the Lady Techsters. Good swing. Tipped into the mid of Garcia behind the plate. A ball and a strike. Galaz 0 for 2, fly out to center and a strikeout to end the third. Oh, Galaz thought it was inside. Bit of a smile on her face in frustration. Down here, at a ball and 2 strikes. Catchell trying to get out of the inning with just the 1 run surrendered. And she does. The rise ball gets Galaz on strikes to retire the side. Lady Techsters get 1 back on a couple of hits. They leave 2 on the base paths. Bottom of the 5th coming up. 4-3 Blazers here in Charlotte. Back here at Dottridge Stadium in Charlotte. 4-3 our score. The Blazers on top by a run. They're going to now try and get one of them back that La Tech just put up. We have had some fantastic softball here in this 2018 Conference USA Championship. Another game left to go this afternoon to decide who will move on to face Middle Tennessee for the tournament title and the league's automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. Presley Galloway back to work. First pitch downstairs for a ball. Rachel Rogers leading it off here for UAB. Solo homer back in the fourth to get that 4-run inning underway. That one just missed outside. Line out to center otherwise for Rogers, who quickly jumps ahead 3-0. Rosado going out to have a quick chat with Presley Galloway, and very quick apparently, just a couple of words. "3-0 outside on 4 straight. Rogers draws the walk. Leadoff man aboard. Sarah Crawford coming up. Double to the gap in left center. Run scored in the fourth. Ground out to Galaz back in the second. She takes one low and away. That's 5 straight, the first 5 from Galloway. Outside the strike zone here in this 5th inning. Make it 6. Not like Presley Galloway to not be able to find the strike zone. Time called as we'll have a lengthier conference inside the circle to try and calm her down. As we speak, more action will get underway in this Louisiana Tech bullpen. Jenny Chapman was up and throwing earlier. She's going to resume.
They've also got Bailey Allen heading down there. She's a senior.
One of the catchers, Addison Rourke, in addition to her catcher gear, has a full gallon of water to take down there with her. It goes to show you how hot and steamy it is here this afternoon in Charlotte.
Again,
2-0 the count here on Crawford.
Again, props to Rosado and Garcia. They are just decked out in all that catcher's gear back there, and they're just playing it out like champs.
Outside ball 3. You can see Galloway visibly frustrated inside the circle trying to find the strike zone. There she does on her 8th pitch of the inning. 3 balls and a strike. UAB with a 1-run lead and a 1-hit lead in that column on the scoreboard as well. Here's a grounder through the hole on the right side. Base hit for Crawford. First and second, nobody out for the Blazers. You see Galaz and Jensen on the right side of the infield. And Crawford was able to poke it right between both of them. So here comes Claire Blount. I beg your pardon, Rainey Cooper. She came in to run for Blount earlier and stayed in the ball game out in right field. Cooper takes a strike. Cooper 176 average. Maybe in a sacrifice spot here. She does. A bunt perfectly placed out in front of the plate. Throw to first just in time. Great play defensively for Louisiana Tech. A great sacrifice bunt by Cooper. They've got some insurance runs at second and third base now for Prater. Perfect bunt right out in front of the plate. And you just gave props to Rosado behind the plate again, bouncing out from behind the plate to make that play. One down as Prater will stand in from the left side. Coach Montgomery hollering to his defense to watch for a potential squeeze here. First pitch to Prater, in for a strike. 0 for 2 today, fly out to center, fielder's choice over to third. Now she does try to bunt, but it's foul off to the left. Quickly down 0-2. It's a big insurance run here for UAB. One if they can get it. They'd love to get both of them and double that advantage back out to 3. Here's a slap towards third. Simone checks the runner. Throw to first in time. Another heads-up play defensively by Louisiana Tech. Simone making sure she was able to look Rogers back to the third base bag and keep her there. 2 outs. Now Galloway 1 out away from getting out of the inning. Clem 0 for 2. Pop up to third and a strikeout back in the fourth. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. This would be a nice little momentum boost for Galloway in the circle if she can get out of this inning. 0-1 popped up back out of play. Now she's 1 strike away from doing just that. Rogers drew a 4-pitch walk. Crawford with a 3-1 single to center. Galloway had issues finding the strike zone to start this 5th inning. Sacrifice bunt and a ground out to third have kept both runners there at second and third. Here's a grounder to third. Simone has it, and the Lady Techsters get out of the jam. See if that gives them some momentum. 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. We're off to the 6th inning in Charlotte. Lady Techsters down 4-3. Back here in Charlotte, 4-3 our score. UAB on top of the Lady Techsters. Lady Techsters have to find a way to push across the tying run. They are down to their final 6 outs here in the Conference USA tournament. And quite possibly their final 6 outs of the season. Always safer to get that automatic bid instead of leaving it up into the hands of the NCAA softball committee. Marilyn Rosado, Bailey Simone, Carly Jensen to lead things off. Emily Catchell back to work. First pitch in the dirt for ball number 1. Rosado 0 for 2, ground out to short, fly out to right. Matter of fact, Simone and Jensen both 0 for 2 as well. So this is a good opportunity for Catchell to try and work a quick 1-2-3 inning and keep it a 1-run lead. Here's a strike. Good frame job by Garcia behind the plate there on that pitch. 1-1. One fouled off to the right side. You saw Rosado didn't mean to. 4 strikeouts for Catchell. She's given up the 3 runs on 6 hits. Couple of walks and a hit by pitch to go along with those 4 strikeouts. Here's a grounder left side, stopped by Irwin, but no play for the shortstop. Great play by Irwin to keep it on the infield, but no chance to throw out Rosado here opening the 6th.
You love plays like that, but you hate plays like that.
Absolutely. As a pitcher, you got the ground ball. Irwin did everything she could. We're going to have a pinch runner over here at first base. Kaylee Anderson representing that all-important tying run. Going to come off the bench here and run for head coach Mark Montgomery. Not for Coach Montgomery, not literally, running for Rosado. You get the drift. First pitch to Simone. Outside for ball number 1. Anderson 6 for 6 in the stolen base department this season. So does Coach Montgomery want to roll those dice here in this 6th frame? Popped up, back out of play by Simone. Coach Montgomery has a couple of different options here. The stolen base. Anderson there. Do you want Simone to bunt? Do you want her to swing away? What's that gut feeling right now? How about a laser down the left field line, but it is foul. Plenty of distance off of the batting cage.
One of the FAU players just picked it up, threw it back in.
That close to a go-ahead 2-run shot by Simone, but now she has to dig back in, down a ball and 2 strikes. Up and away, 2-2 as the rise ball misses.
Things stay the way they are. UAB and FAU didn't actually play this year in the regular season, but I wouldn't count out the Lady Techsters just yet.
Two-two pitch. Popped up, right center field. England calling off Cooper. Center fielder taking charge, as she should, being that captain. First out recorded, Carly Jensen to the plate. Time called here. Let's see. Doesn't look like it's going to be Jensen. Sydney Castile's coming off the bench. Jensen 0 for 2 will give way to Castile.
Castile's another freshman, so you got Anderson, that's a freshman. The pinch runner last inning was a freshman. Montgomery showing he's confident in his team, regardless of grade and experience.
Absolutely using all the resources on his bench as Castile takes the first pitch low and away for ball number 1. The freshman just 3 for 18 on the year. One of those 3 a double. Does have an RBI and run scored. Anderson, the pinch runner, over here at first. Swing and a miss. Good swing by Castile, but she was late there on the offering by Catchell. One pitch. Just missed outside, 2-1. Louisiana Tech trying to find a way to tie it up here in the 6th. Oh, the changeup in for a strike. Good pitch at a good time for Catchell. Buckling Castillo right there. Let's see if Catchell comes right back with it. 2-2. Nope, just missed. Pretty good pitch. Castillo able to lay off and run the count full here, 3-2. Runner goes, called strike 3, throw to second in time. A strike him out, throw him out, huge double play for UAB, gets him out of the jam. One hit, nobody left on. Blazers still holding on to that 1-run lead. Thanks to a strike him out, throw him out double play, the UAB Blazers come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning with a 1-run lead over Louisiana Tech. Sean Fox and Katie Smith here with you. Blazers looking for an insurance run. Louisiana Tech looking to keep it a 1-run deficit when they come up in the top of the 7th for their last at-bat, potentially of this conference tournament. Molly Garcia going to lead things off. England and Irwin due up.
Garcia's had a good day at the plate today. She's 2 hits, right?
1 hit in the walk. Reach base both times. Goes after the first pitch. Right back to Galloway on the mound. 1 pitch, 1 out.
I've jinxed her.